The fashion industry is a multi-billion-dollar global industry that shapes the way we dress, consume and present ourselves to the world. However, behind the glamour and glitz of fashion lies a dark side. In this video, we will explore the dark side of the fashion industry, from sweatshops and worker exploitation to environmental destruction. Part 1. Sweatshops and exploitation. The use of sweatshops and worker exploitation in the fashion industry is not a new problem. In fact, it has been a prominent issue for decades. In many developing countries where labor laws are lax, workers in the fashion industry are often paid very low wages and work long hours in dangerous and unhealthy conditions. They are also denied basic labor rights, such as the right to organize and the right to a safe working environment. According to the International Labor Organization, around 170 million children are engaged in child labor globally, and the fashion industry is one of the major industries in which child labor is prevalent. In many cases, children are forced to work in hazardous conditions, putting their health and safety at risk. Part 2. Fast fashion. Fast fashion has become a dominant force in the fashion industry, with clothing being produced quickly and cheaply to meet consumer demand for trendy clothing. This business model relies on low-cost labor and outsourced production, which often leads to worker exploitation and poor working conditions. The fast fashion industry is also responsible for a significant environmental impact, with the fashion industry being one of the largest contributors to pollution and waste. The fast fashion industry is characterized by a culture of disposability, encouraging consumers to buy more clothes and discard them after just a few wears. Part 3. Environmental destruction. The fashion industry has a significant environmental impact, with the production and disposal of clothing contributing to pollution, resource depletion, and climate change. The use of toxic chemicals in the production process also poses a risk to human health and the environment. The fashion industry is responsible for around 10% of global carbon emissions, and it is estimated that the industry will use up to 25% of the world's carbon budget by 2050 if no significant changes are made. The fashion industry also contributes to water pollution and uses vast amounts of water in the production process. Part 4. Animal welfare. The fashion industry also has a dark side when it comes to animal welfare. The use of animal products such as fur, leather, and exotic skins is controversial, with animal rights activists arguing that these practices are cruel and unnecessary. The production of these materials also has a significant environmental impact. The leather industry, for example, is responsible for around 18% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Many fashion brands are now turning to alternative materials and production methods that are more sustainable and ethical. Part 5. Body image and diversity. The fashion industry has long been criticized for promoting unrealistic body standards and lacking diversity. The use of thin models and airbrushing in advertising campaigns can contribute to body image issues and low self-esteem, particularly among young people. The lack of diversity in the industry can also perpetuate harmful stereotypes and contribute to social inequality. However, there are also efforts being made to promote body positivity and diversity in the industry, with some brands featuring models of all shapes, sizes, and ethnicities in their campaigns. Part 6. Counterfeiting and intellectual property theft. Counterfeiting is a significant problem in the fashion industry, with counterfeit products costing the industry billions of dollars in lost revenue each year. Intellectual property theft is also a problem, with fashion designers having their designs copied and sold by others without their permission. These issues not only harm the fashion industry financially, but they also contribute to a culture of exploitation and unfairness. Part 7. Human rights violations. The fashion industry is also linked to human rights violations, particularly in countries where labor laws are weak or non-existent. Workers in these countries are often subjected to forced labor, human trafficking, and other forms of exploitation. The industry also contributes to child labor, with many children forced to work in dangerous and exploitative conditions to produce clothing. The dark side of the fashion industry is a complex and multifaceted issue that requires ongoing attention and action. From worker exploitation and environmental destruction to waste and overconsumption, there are many challenges facing the industry. However, there are also opportunities for positive change, with many brands and consumers working towards a more sustainable, ethical, and fair fashion industry. It is important that we continue to raise awareness of the issues and demand change, for the sake of workers, animals, the environment, and society as a whole. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this one.